Hi friends, today I wanted to give a quick overview of one of the theoretical models we're using to design our change projects. Our entire idea and concept of creating a change in our community, we're going to be using the social change model of leadership. Now, many of you probably don't define yourself as a leader as one of the first things that you think about yourself as. Think about leadership and think about leading change as part of a process. And throughout the course of this next 15, 16 weeks in our time together, you are going to create a change. You are going to propose a change and work through this process. So, ergo, you indeed are becoming a leader. So the social change model, an idea is that we're creating change. We are engaging in that process to create a change considering the people and aspects, community that are involved. So when we talk about the social change model of leadership, I'm going to draw this is why I was not an art major. So we have three entities that we're always going to be considering. So the three entities that we're always going to be considering and thinking about when we're thinking about creating change are ourself, our individual values, motivations, the group dimensions, the other people that we're interacting with in order to make this change, create this change, have that occur. And then the bigger picture, what is the community impact, community value, societal impact of what we're doing and how that's going to come in. The idea of these three entities is any process in creating change is going to be collaborative. We need to make sure that we're being socially responsible, that we're doing no harm to any of these entities in creating the change that we're proposing. We're adding value, and then we are, considering the needs of others in this process in order to create that, for lack of a better term, no harm kind of system. We're improving things and creating positive change for everybody involved. The other concept being in this community society piece that we're creating change that outlasts us. We're going to do things that not only may benefit us in the short term, but benefit everyone, society, the group, long term. We're not going to always reap the benefits of it, but somebody else will who comes in after us. So you're going to hear a lot about the different C's involved. Often you hear the 7 C's of the social change model or 7 C's of leadership. There are 7 what we call values or dimensions that are involved in each of these. When we talk about group and dimension, we think about collaboration. That is the fact that we're going to be interacting and working together to create this change. A common purpose. We're all working towards the goal of improving something. And then the final C in this group area is the idea of debate. And we call this, to keep the C theme going, controversy with civility. But let's debate, let's have a conversation, let's have a civil understanding of the different ways, different places, different pieces involved in this in order to make this something that benefits everyone involved. Others may see aspects or perspectives of something that we might not necessarily see or know or understand based on our own experiences. So it's important to have that group conversation to understand the other perspectives, and that might involve controversy, that might involve debate, so on and so forth. And when we talk about self and our individual values, we need to think about the consciousness of self. This is being self-aware. How does this impact me? How does this benefit me? And acknowledging that fact that you have somewhat of a personal investment in seeing this happen because it will benefit you more than likely. The idea of congruence. I personally like this idea of congruence. It's making sure that what we say and what we do match up. They're congruent, they're similar, they match up to one another. And that we avoid being, for lack of a better term, a hypocrite. We are saying what we believe and we're following through with our words, our deeds, and our actions. That's congruence. Our final C over here in that self-individual section is commitment. The idea that this means something to you. You're invested in it and you're committed to making sure to see that it happens. Our final C over here, as you see we have 3 here, we have 3 there. Our final C is over here in this community society block, and we call this citizenship. With citizenship, we all belong, we all have an investment to the greater good, whether it be to our country, to our community, to our society, to an organization, or what other larger group of individuals that we're involved in that we are creating and causing this, making this change happen, so to speak. So in these pieces, we obviously have relationships going back and forth between all of these different areas. When we think about individual values and our group dimensions, we have things that we really want to kind of know about ourselves as we go through this process. Obviously, we want to know ourselves. You know, who are we? What is our role? What is our place in this particular thing? We need to know our strengths. And we need to know our role within the group. And while we are proposing and trying to create this change, our role might not always be the leader. There may be a time when we need to be the follower. There may be a time when we need to take on different roles within the group in order to make things happen. And that's all happening over here in this group self kind of dynamic. When we think about the group and the community as a whole, we need to know what is our mission. Both as our group, as an organization of people involved, what is our mission? What is our purpose? Why are we here? Why are we working together? What is it that we're working towards? That's also going to be our focus. Rather than just having a very bland, open blanket, we need to have a focus. We need to know where it is and what it is that we're working towards or what we're working to do. And if we have these two pieces, we know what our mission is, we know how to focus on making it happen, that's where we're going to create our social change. When you think about it, all of these elements here changes what happens when all of these interactions are happening. Here, we're learning. We're learning about the bigger picture and how it connects back and forth to ourselves. This is our social change. Over here, again, it's these elements. Mission, focus, social change that we're trying to create. And ourself, and how we fit into the bigger picture, that would be our interactions between those two pieces. Ultimately, I use this model, social change model of leadership in this class because what it is, our purpose, our change project, is creating this very change. And in order to create a change that is lasting and meaningful and helps and adds to the greater good, we need to be considering all of the different elements and pieces at play so that we can make something that outlasts us, is meaningful, and is the change that we do want to see, whether it be at NMC, in our workplace, or in our community. Thank you. As always, if you have questions, shout them out, and I look forward to seeing you in our next class.